Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sukkot Sameach. Today we're going to start a new project, Psalm 119, which is an acrostic psalm. And we're going to go all the way through it. It's probably going to take us some time, but I hope it will be a joyful experience for everyone who listens. In Hebrew, the name for the book of Psalms is Tehillim. In the Second Temple period, Tehillim were referred to as Mizmorot, melody. And the word zamar in Hebrew refers to someone that makes music or sings. And we can see that the word zamar is in mizmarot. Mizmor or mizmarot is the plural. Psalm 119 is an acrostic psalm, meaning it uses the Hebrew alphabet to begin each verse. For example, in the first 8 verses of the psalm, every word that begins the verse starts with aleph, and aleph is the first consonant of the Hebrew alphabet. So here we have our first verse, verse 1 of Psalm 119, or aleph. If you look in the Hebrew Bible, and some English Bibles have it listed as aleph. So blessed are, ashrei, and we see that the word ashrei begins with an aleph. And ashrei can be blessed or happy. Tamimei darech, the wholesome of the way. HaCholechim, the ones walking, betorat Yahweh, in the Torah of Yahweh and his instructions. Now here we have some vocabulary words, a little more additional information from our previous slide of verse 1. So as before, we said ashrei can mean blessed or happy, but this word should not be confused with the Hebrew word barech, which has a different connotation than ashrei. Tamimei is from the plural word tamim, and in this context it means sound, wholesome, unimpaired, innocent, and having integrity. Now, you're going to hear me a lot saying in this context, because Hebrew words and Greek as well is dependent on context for their meaning, and not necessarily the base meaning that we get when we look in a lexicon. The word derech, for way or road, is how Yeshua describes himself as well. And it is this way that is being described, the way of the Torah or the instructions of Yahweh, that he is referring to. So he is our living Torah. Now here we have verse 2 of our Aleph stanza, and then we have Ashrei again. Blessed are those, Notzrei Edotav, who guard with fidelity his testimonies, and testimonies referring to the commandments written on the stone tablets. The whole lev is all the heart, or with the whole heart, Yidreshuhu. They will seek him, Yidreshuhu. And now we have our vocabulary for verse 2. Notzrei is from the verb natsar, and in this context it means to guard with fidelity, keep or observe. And this reference to keeping the divine instructions of the Torah. Edotav is from the word edut, and this context speaks of the testimony of the 10 words on the tablets, giving the divine charge. And then Yidreshuhu is from the verb darash, which means to seek or inquire. And we have our last verse for today, verse 3. And we have Af, which begins with Aleph. Af lo fa'alu. They also do no wickedness. Bidrachav halechu. They walk in his ways. And here's our vocabulary list for verse 3. Fa'alu is from the word pa'al, and in this context it means to do. They do not do avla, and avla means wickedness or perversity. Bidrachav is from the word derech, and it's again word way or road. The bet is a preposition, meaning in, on, by, against, depending on how it's used, and also on what combination of words. And then the yud vav on the end is a pronominal suffix, his or him. In his ways, bidrachav. And then our last word, halechu, is from the word halach, and this word means to go or walk. And that is it. As to be continued. So next week we will continue with more of our Aleph verse, and we'll continue to go that way until we reach the end, which will take us some time. So again, Hag Sameach, Hag Sukkot Sameach, and Shabbat Shalom.